Coming up on Hampton Roads Business Weekly, we'll give you new ways that companies should be looking at innovation. Plus, we'll take you to the inaugural Entrepreneur Expo right here in Hampton Roads. And we'll introduce you to our Entrepreneur of the Week next on Hampton Roads Business Weekly. Welcome to the debut of Hampton Roads Business Weekly. This is a brand new show focusing on the Hampton Roads business community. Each week, we'll highlight area businesses and leaders making an impact right here in our region. Plus, we'll have tips on everything from starting a business to ways to innovate to social media marketing, things that business owners and their employees can do right now to help their business. And we're going to kick things off with a segment called Innovation 101. I recently sat down with Dr. Gary Oster at Regent University's School of Business and Leadership. We talked about ways that companies are going about innovation the wrong way and a couple of tips to get companies back on track. All right, Gary, so companies are innovating, but they're not happy with the results. Why is that?
Well, you're right, Zach. They're putting a lot of money and time into innovation, but they're not getting positive results. And this applies to many companies, but especially the small and medium-sized companies. There are some steps, though, that you can take to find out if you're headed in the right direction. You know, a simple thing to understand is that you can't really compare a very large corporation with a small corporation. Their way that they innovate is quite a bit different. Sure. And it should be different. One of the problems is we often will read in the trade magazines about a large corporation, a General Electric or a 3M or a company like that, and how they innovate and expect that our small 2, 3, 4, 5 person company is going to innovate the same way. And it's not the same way. So got to change those expectations to begin with.
What do you see as ways to not necessarily read everything that you're seeing and test ways to get the results that you ultimately want, which is more customers?
Sure. In my opinion, the best way to go about this is to concentrate on the pain points with your employees. This sounds odd because you're starting with your employees instead of your customers. Yep. But with your employees, they can give you a long list of things that drive them crazy. And those are things, by and large, that can be changed fairly easily. And the employees working together can find out all kinds of ways to make life easier for themselves and to make the business more effective. So, you know, start with those pain points. Don't worry about those things that you can't control. Instead, especially in a smaller organization, focus on those things that you can control.
And so how would a company of any size really talk to their own employees about this type of thing?
Well, instead of being very, very specific about we want you to do exactly this innovation or that innovation, be a little bit broader and say, here's the goals we're trying to accomplish. Whatever those goals are, objectives are, make sure that people know what those are and then let them come up with ideas. And people are really amazed when they see how many good ideas that employees have at all levels.
Yeah, so allow the employee to kind of pitch a concept and then be very entrepreneurial, if you will. How, from a top-down perspective in a company, can the founders or the CEOs or the C-levels communicate that through the different layers of bureaucracy that might be in a company to get that actual results?
Mm-hmm. One thing is to be innovative yourself. People copy what the big cheese does. Yep. So that's one thing.
So strong leadership.
Right, strong leadership that way. Set very specific objectives so that people know what to focus on, and then let people try cheap, quick experiments. You know? Something that's not going to break the bank.
And allow and embrace failure.
Right.
And say that, well, we tried this way. Now we know not to do that again. We didn't spend a lot of time on it. And now you can go to that next piece.
Sure. The difficulty we have is we keep trying to do big innovation. We keep trying to do major change. And if we start small, if we start with simple experiments that are very inexpensive and can be turned on and off very quickly, even if it just completely bombs, it's not going to hurt the company. So you need to start small, do things that are quick and cheap and frankly ugly. They don't have to be perfect. Yep. But get them out there and just see what your customers think of.
So be small,
Yep.
be cheap, which will ultimately probably embrace company morale as well.
Exactly.
Great.
Exactly.
Thank you so much.
Next on Hampton Roads Business Weekly, Zach takes you inside Hatch, a mentor-based startup accelerator in downtown Norfolk.
All right, we're back here in downtown Norfolk at Hatch, where I spend most of my days, and we're going to take a little bit of a look around and talk to some of our companies. So first, a little bit about Hatch and what we do here is we're in the business of helping other businesses. So we put on over 150 meetups a year, 150 gigs and big events to help grow and start businesses in our area. And this is one of our wonderful companies, Threescape with Kevin Curry. Kevin, thanks for being with us today.
Yeah, sure. Glad to be
here. I'll
here.
kneel down with you. Why not? Kevin, so you're working on a project right now called Threescape. Tell me a little bit about what Threescape is.
So the mission of Threescape is to really push creative learning for kids of all ages. So we're taking the idea of like the virtual building block of Minecraft, and we're expanding that into virtual contraptions and adding physics. So kids can like play and put stuff together and then see how things work.
How did you come up with the idea?
Well, I've been in kind of 3D and VR for most of my career, and I always wanted to do something fun and creative. I've been in the business and engineering side of things, and I want to do something fun and creative, and so that's where it came from.
The business community here locally, what do you think about it, and how can this company, Threescape, succeed locally?
Well, I think the business community here is great. I mean, I think what you're doing here at Hatch is awesome. It's super needed. We have a lot of work to do and a lot of growth to break away from some of the old traditional industries, but I see a lot of that movement happening. I definitely leverage, you mentioned all those events. Those are really great for helping polish your business plan, talking about your business, getting feedback. And that's really what is good for me.
Great, great. All right, company number 2, so we'll stand up for this one.
Yeah. Okay.
So you got another company called Comparity that's in a completely 180 different shift.
It is.
What is Comparity?
So Comparity is a personal shopper for everyone, right? So buying insurance is really hard, and you see a lot of commercials out there nowadays for like CompareNow.com or The Elephant, where they'll give you all your price comparison. Well, it's actually really hard to get a good, accurate quote, and you often need help from a personal agent. So that's what we do. We're like a personal shopper. We're like a concierge. So we use technology to make the process fast and efficient, and then we give you professional help when you need it so you can make a really smart decision.
One of my favorite questions that we do, part of the show, is to ask people that we interview, define entrepreneur.
Oh, wow. I mean, I'm sure there's a textbook definition, but it's definitely somebody who is self-driven, has a vision, who's motivated, who you can't say, will never take no for an answer, won't stop. That's entrepreneurs are, they want to make money, they want to do good for the community, but really it's that drive, it's that passion, it's that never quit, make it happen attitude.
Fantastic, fantastic. Kevin, thanks a bunch.
Thank you
for being with us.
Welcome, yeah.
And best of luck to you and your
Thanks.
show and to your at least 4 things that you're working on right now. And so now we're gonna go back over to the other side of the office and meet with one of our other entrepreneurs, Jeremy Johnson of John Rich Media. And he's been in business for several years and is also in the business of helping others with more of their marketing materials. So Jeremy Johnson, why don't you stand if you will? Pleasure to have you with us today.
Yes, sir.
Jeremy, I'm gonna get really hard with you really quick. Define entrepreneur.
Entrepreneurship is just putting it all on the line, going forward and helping people to fulfill their needs, something that they're willing to pay, give you some money for.
You didn't grow up here. You grew up about 100 miles up the road.
Yes, sir.
Why do business here?
Actually, business is great here. There's with the amount of individuals who are retired military, it's a very stable market. There's a resort area, the port, there's a lot of economic engines here that created a lot of potential. The other thing that's good is because of the breakup of the different cities, it allows great opportunities for smaller businesses to kind of network and work within each of these pockets, thus providing a better chance to grow if you're a smaller company.
How do you make the right bets or take the right chance on the next platform to build off of? How do you make that decision?
Sure, a lot of reading and researching, right? So you have to listen to people. You have to stay abreast of the news. I'm a big stock market fan. Stock market is all information and emotions, and so I try to listen to what are the next trends for business. And on financial news, oftentimes they talk about the business problems, and so from that there's a lot of opportunity.
So Jeremy, thank you for your time today.
Absolutely,
Pleasure
sir.
having you with us.
Yes.
So that's it. That's just a couple of minutes here at Hatch. A little bit about what I do on a day-to-day basis, working with several of these companies. We've helped over 350 different companies over the last 3 years, and hopefully 350 more over the next few as well.
Next on Hampton Roads Business Weekly, we unveil our Entrepreneur of the Week, and later, marketing with social media.
Welcome back. Something we'd like to do with Hampton Roads Business Weekly is shine a spotlight on local business owners and entrepreneurs to learn how they got their start, the problems and pitfalls that they face, and to find out what sort of advice they have for other business owners. To kick off this segment, I spoke with Tony from Wine Not Italian. Tony is celebrating his 22nd year in business in Hampton Roads and is getting ready to open his 7th restaurant.
I think you truly have to look at the foundation of your business and really work on the core of your business to making sure that it's solid. Before you expand, you truly have to make sure that your core is really in place.
Tony, congratulations on being Entrepreneur of the Week. We're here at Wine Not Italian. I think what's really important for businesses and people that are watching is to how other businesses get started. What made you start Wine Not Italian?
You know, I was fortunate as a kid in New Jersey to start, making pizza at 15 years old, and had a great opportunity to work for a lot of great people. And, I've been doing it my whole life. So it came to the time when I hit the right age and moved to Virginia Beach from New Jersey. I was living up by Manhattan for a while. I came down here and decided that's what I wanted to do.
So this is the original location.
It is.
How long have you been in this space?
22 years.
And it looks exactly the same since 22 years ago, right?
A lot has changed. So.
Yeah, I'm sure being in business for 22 years, there's a lot of struggles and a lot of challenges that you've gone through. What are a couple of those challenges that you got through, and how did you get through them?
I think one of the biggest challenges is just perfecting management and working towards your staff and making sure that you're giving them the tools necessary to succeed, from dealing with customers and also dealing with your internal customers as your employees. So, and then going through that, financing and stuff like that, we dealt with that in the beginning when we first opened, which is always a difficult point because I believe most entrepreneurs are underfunded when they go into business.
Sure. So someone that may be looking for a way to get through that kind of funding concern, what can they do to get off the ground so they can do what they love and grow business?
I think there's a couple ways. I think truly you have to develop a relationship with a great banker, and and that's working with people in the community that have done this already. I think it's a wealth of information. I think the opportunity to develop a system where we can be attainable as entrepreneurs would be great, and that's really my focus.
So 6 locations, growing to 7, maybe expanding out of the area. As you do that, what are some of the growth challenges from store to store?
The growth challenges from store to store is just consistency. Consistency is the key to success for us. It doesn't matter from your management style, from the quality of your food, consistency is key.
So consistency in the food as well and the experience. So if I'm at the Great Neck or if I'm in Ghent, I'm going to get the same experience no matter what. What about some tips for growing businesses or entrepreneurs that might be starting businesses on how to get out there and get their business to succeed like yours has?
I truly believe we focus on our core fundamentals of our company and build from there constantly. And then not only be satisfied with our core functions, but perfecting them every day, whether it be we go out to our plants and look where our tomatoes are grown. We go to our cheese factory, and so we go truly on our core and constantly try to perfect what we're doing at the core.
You still come every day? You still make the rounds?
I do. I still bust tables every night.
There you go.
I make pizza every Friday night. My brother makes pizza every Friday night in Kempsville. My wife's out here with us, so it's really great.
So you truly love what you're doing. I think it's absolutely awesome.
I love it.
And congrats on being Entrepreneur of the Week.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Take care.
Awesome.
And thanks to Tony for being our very first Entrepreneur of the Week. Now let's talk social media. It can be a powerful tool in advertising your business or products to your customers, but trying to figure out how to market your business, even what social site to use, can be a nightmare. But don't worry, we have some tips to help you out next on Hampton Roads Business Weekly. Welcome back. We're here with our social media expert, Naoma Doraguzzi. Each week, she's going to be giving us tips, trends, and advice to better improve your business social media. Naoma, what do you have this week for us?
This week, first off, I want to start about is social media is about engagement. It's not about blasting a post out. However, being a small business owner, you have limited resources and time to always be online. So the first step is you can use automation tools. I use Hootsuite, but here's some best practices for you to use when automating on your social media. First off, I see a lot of business owners using direct messaging on Twitter when someone new follows you. Don't do that, because what I'm going to do is look at your profile. If I see you're not replying and engaging, which is what social media is about, I'm probably not going to want to follow you. It's again about you have to have a conversation online. So another good benefit though of automating is that you can be online and have that presence when maybe you're at work or even in the evening when you're asleep, so you can still be able to put the content out there and then doing the replies and having the conversation when you have the time. So the next thing is kind of spacing it out, so you're not always having during your working hours post after post after post. You can schedule it so it's spaced out throughout the day, so you're always continually having the online presence. So again, it's about engaging, but you can use these automation tools to kind of help be more productive throughout the day and still have that online presence. So make sure you ask questions to your followers and your fans so that they can engage and have the conversation back with you. Back to you, Zach.
Thanks, Naoma. Another feature of the show will be to highlight various events and meetups happening in the business community. We went to one event, the Entrepreneurs Expo, held at the Constant Center. It was a great opportunity for local business leaders to come together, network, and get inspired. Take a look. Just wrapped up a full day here at the inaugural EO Expo at the TED in Norfolk, Virginia. And it was an amazing day. 4 speakers told aspiring entrepreneurs and growing entrepreneurs on ways for them to grow their companies. Everyone is in that room, so we're gonna head there ourselves and take a look.
Current president of the Entrepreneur Organization of Southeast Virginia, and this is the Entrepreneurs Expo.
All right, Martin, we're here at the inaugural EO Expo here at the TED. Why are we here? What and why did you want to put on something like this for our community?
EO has been in our community for about 15 years, and it just seems no one in the community knows who we are. And so, you know what, we wanted to bring something that was significant here to Hampton Roads because we are the most influential group of entrepreneurs here in Hampton Roads. And so, you know, we reached out to our A-list of speakers that we have on a national level and brought them here in our backyard. And so it was a lot of fun, and we felt like we really met our objective today.
What do you think about the results? So someone that sat through the entire day, what do you think, or maybe for you, what do you think the outcome is for someone that might be starting a business or growing a business that attended today's expo?
Oh, we think it's a strong thirst for learning out there in the community. You know, there's a lot of budding entrepreneurs that really want to do well. They want to figure out how they can get the advantage over their competitor. This is a perfect venue for them to be able to do that. So if they took the time and invested their time today wisely, you know, and execute, then they're going to have a big advantage.
Right. A thirst for learning. I love that. Learn about that today. Define entrepreneur, and then define entrepreneur in our backyard, in our region.
Okay, so it's really, I think entrepreneurs are the ones that are taking risks. They're the ones that are, you know, seeing an opportunity and taking the risk to be able to grab, you know, for that opportunity and be there before somebody else does, or do it better than somebody else can. And so, you know, taking that risk is really critical. And not many people are, you know, strong enough at heart, or you know, have the fortitude to be able to just kind of, you know, bootstrap it and make it work.
Sure. Absolutely. It's been an incredible day. Been here since the beginning. Really appreciate the time with you today, Martin. 360 IT Partners. And,
really appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Take care.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Executive events. You're here at the inaugural EO Expo.
Yep.
Expectations when you walked in the door today, what did you think?
I was just coming to get some knowledge about entrepreneurship in this region, and I thought it was a really, really good event. We had lots of people who are interested in business, interested in growing their business, and I think that we got a lot of good takeaways for that today.
You are a new entrepreneur.
I am.
Someone that's been in the startup world for less than a year.
Right.
Having an event like this in your backyard, why is that important for you and all the other aspiring entrepreneurs, and then the entrepreneurs that have already been here before? Why is it important to have an event like this here?
I absolutely think it's important. I think that this is a place where we can meet other entrepreneurs, meet a potential mentor, mentor someone else. If we have some knowledge that someone else doesn't have, we can help those people up as well. It's about establishing a community in Hampton Roads to help us grow as a region, because entrepreneurship, small business is the future of our region. So it's absolutely imperative.
Define entrepreneur.
Oh man. Somebody who's willing to take a risk and bet on themselves, and someone that is willing to create jobs for other people, bring other people up with them, and just succeed all around.
In one sentence, define this event today and how it will impact your business for the coming days, weeks, months, and years.
This event has created a community of entrepreneurship, and I hope that the connections and the friendships that I make today, I can utilize in my business going forward in Hampton Roads.
High five. Good job. Thank you so much for watching the inaugural episode of Hampton Roads Business Weekly. You can find this show on Facebook and Twitter at HR Business Weekly or online at hrbusinessweekly.com. Tell us what you think of the show. For Hampton Roads Business Weekly, I'm Zach Miller.